The illusion of absence. The silence you are enduring right now is not a punishment, but a tool stripping away daily noise to reveal a blueprint for your future. You are not being sidelined or left behind, as you are being strengthened in the shadows to sustain the weight of a coming blessing. Your internal capacity is being built for something monumental. The Creator uses this quiet time to redirect your focus, pulling you away from the exhaustion of glowing screens and endless notifications. It guides you toward genuine internal growth. Many people mistake this lack of external noise for a period of stagnation, believing they have lost their forward momentum in life. You must realize this stillness represents a strategic redirection of your personal energy. The modern world demands your attention with shallow interactions that drain your daily reserves, so a deliberate pause filters out this digital exhaustion. It allows your mind to reset its foundational priorities before taking another step. Shifting your perspective changes how you experience this chapter of hidden growth. You often feel forgotten by the fast-paced society rushing past your door every morning, but in reality, you are being hidden for a specific purpose. Embracing this withdrawal allows the calibration process to work within your mind, removing the interference of outside opinions and societal pressures. You are given room to breathe and remember who you actually are. The illusion of absence often triggers panic in a mind accustomed to constant validation, yet spiritual alignment requires a disconnection from the chaotic frequencies that dominate our modern existence. This period of silence acts as a shield against a culture obsessed with immediate gratification. You are learning to find comfort in the quiet spaces. Profound transformation happens away from the public eye. A lack of external noise redirects your focus toward internal growth, as the universe lowers the volume of your daily life to help you hear your own thoughts. This quiet time is required to untangle the mental webs created by years of societal conditioning. You are given space to evaluate your true desires, doing so without the influence of outside opinions telling you what to want. The Creator uses stillness to filter out the digital exhaustion of this era. A constant stream of information prevents your soul from reaching the meditative states required for healing, so turning away from the screens allows your nervous system to decompress. It returns your body to a natural baseline. This physical and mental reset is necessary before you receive instructions for your next path. You must shift your perspective from feeling forgotten to realizing you are being hidden. A master artist covers their canvas while working out the details of a masterpiece, and you are the canvas undergoing a transformation that is not ready for public viewing. The heavy cloth will be lifted when the brushstrokes are finished. Premature exposure would only invite misunderstanding. This isolation prevents exposure that could damage the fragile new ideas forming in your consciousness. A seed requires the heavy darkness of soil to establish its primary root system, and pulling a seed into the sunlight too early guarantees the destruction of the harvest. You are safe in the dark soil of this current season. Your roots are pushing deeper into the earth. Feeling invisible is a temporary condition designed to cure an addiction to external applause. You learn to value your own progress without needing a crowd to cheer for your victories, and this self-sufficiency becomes your strongest asset when you step into positions of leadership. Leaders who rely on public approval inevitably compromise their values to maintain their popularity. You are building something stronger than popularity. Silence starves the ego while feeding the spirit residing within your physical body. Your ego wants to make noise and prove its worth to strangers on the internet, but your spirit desires only to align with a higher frequency and execute its mission. Letting the ego starve creates a vacuum for genuine spiritual power to enter your life. You are trading volume for substance. You are experiencing a withdrawal from the front lines of life to receive new training. Soldiers do not view time at the training camp as a sign of defeat, as they understand preparation is what keeps them alive during the coming battles. Your isolation is a training camp preparing you for the responsibilities of your future. It requires focus and discipline. The digital landscape creates an illusion of connection while fostering spiritual loneliness. The universe pulls you away from this false matrix to establish a genuine connection with reality, trading thousands of meaningless interactions for a relationship with your own soul. This uneven trade is the greatest bargain you will make during your human journey. It anchors you in truth. The architecture of the inner self. Every great structure requires a period of hidden foundation work before it rises into the sky. Your season of isolation serves as the groundwork needed to support your structural breakthrough, and rushing this underground process would leave you unprepared for the responsibilities accompanying your achievements. The architect takes time solidifying your roots deep underground. This ensures your branches can withstand any storm. Building internal capacity involves expanding your emotional bandwidth to sustain the weight of future blessings. A small glass shatters when a waterfall of opportunity pours into it, so this silent period stretches your spirit to hold the abundance preparing to enter. You are becoming a resilient vessel capable of managing success. You will do this without losing your core identity or inner peace. Specific character traits forge themselves only within the environment of personal solitude. Integrity solidifies its roots when nobody is watching your progress or praising your efforts, and you develop a core of resilience by navigating challenges without an audience cheering you forward. This private discipline guarantees your public victories will stand firm. They will not crumble under sudden external scrutiny. The architecture of your inner self demands a removal of outdated beliefs and fragile coping mechanisms. Silence exposes the cracks within your mindset and provides the space to repair them, allowing you to shed layers of insecurity that dictated your choices and limited your potential. This internal renovation project requires a temporary closure of your outer life. It ensures the structural integrity of your emerging spirit. View this quiet period as the foundation work required before a massive breakthrough can occur, as the depth of your hidden struggle correlates to the eventual height of your manifestation. You are digging through the hard clay of limiting beliefs to reach solid bedrock. This excavation is the only way to build a life that survives unpredictable storms. The work is dirty and unseen. The internal capacity you are building now is the only thing that will sustain your future blessings, because a blessing without capacity is a burden that will quickly overwhelm an unprepared recipient. The universe loves you too much to hand you the keys to a high-performance vehicle before you learn to drive. Silence is your driving instructor. It ensures you can handle the speed of your elevation. Identify the specific character traits being forged while no one is watching your daily progress. Patience is replacing your anxiety, while a quiet confidence is overriding your need for approval. These internal upgrades are more valuable than any external metric of success recognized by society. You are becoming a person of substance rather than a hollow shell chasing worldly accomplishments. Internal scaffolding must be aligned and secured before the heavy marble of success can be installed. You are tightening the bolts on your habits and testing the strength of your boundaries, and these adjustments prevent your life structure from collapsing when the pressure of visibility arrives. The inspector will not sign off on the next phase until this framework is sound. True spiritual architecture requires a balance of vulnerability and energetic strength. You are learning to keep your heart open to guidance while protecting your mind from toxic influences. But this balance is difficult to achieve while surrounded by the chaotic demands of other people. Silence provides the controlled environment needed to practice this energetic boundary. You are building walls that protect rather than isolate. Isolation allows you to hear the structural groans of your own psyche under pressure. You can identify which relationships and obligations are placing too much stress on your emotional walls, making the removal of these excessive weights a mandatory step in the redesign of your elevated life. You are creating a spacious internal floor plan that promotes continuous peace. It allows for effortless daily movement. You are building an internal sanctuary that will serve as a refuge during chaotic seasons. This quiet inner room is furnished with faith and illuminated by the light of truth, offering a place to retreat when the external world becomes overwhelming and confusing. Silence is teaching you how to locate the hidden door to this sacred space. You will always have a place to rest. The structural breakthrough awaiting you is not an explosion, but an organized expansion of your reality. The blueprint was drawn long before you entered this season, so every detail is planned as you execute the daily tasks required to bring this drawing into the physical realm. The quiet guarantees you do not misread the instructions and build a flawed final product. The divine calibration process. Calibration is a delicate process requiring your willingness to remain still while adjustments take place, allowing your mindset to naturally shift and align with the higher frequencies of your upcoming elevation. Old habits that provided temporary comfort are removed to create room for new growth. You must lean into this shedding process to embrace the transformed version of yourself. It is uncomfortable but necessary. Releasing outdated connections often feels painful during a season of deep personal reflection, as certain relationships cannot survive the transition into your next chapter of elevation. The universe quiets your social sphere to prevent negative influences from derailing your progress. You are creating a clean slate where supportive partnerships can take root and flourish. The soil is being prepared for a different kind of seed. What you perceive as a frustrating delay is actually a synchronization of your readiness with universal timing. Opportunities arriving before you are prepared transform into heavy burdens that crush your spirit, so the divine timeline ensures you possess the emotional maturity required to maximize your blessings. Trusting this schedule eliminates the anxiety of trying to force open locked doors. You wait for the key to turn naturally. Lean into the adjustments being made to your mindset to align with your elevation. Resistance to this tuning process prolongs the friction and extends your time in the waiting room, while surrender is the master key that accelerates the calibration and brings your being into harmony. You accept the changes with grace and a knowing that they serve your good. The resistance fades into acceptance. Acknowledge that old habits and outdated connections must be shed to make room for growth. A tree drops its dead leaves in autumn to conserve energy for the explosive growth of spring, and you are in a spiritual autumn where everything that no longer serves your mission falls away. Mourn the loss briefly, but recognize that empty branches are required for the arrival of fresh blossoms. Trust that the delay is a synchronization of your readiness with the timing of the universe. The gears of a clock must align with mathematical precision to display the correct time, and you are a gear being moved into position to trigger a universal event. Attempting to spin faster than the master clock damages the machinery of your destiny. Patience is your greatest mechanical advantage. Calibration involves resetting your internal compass to point toward truth rather than temporary success, forcing you to unlearn the false definitions of victory programmed into your mind by society. This mental detoxification causes disorientation as you navigate the unfamiliar landscape of spiritual reality. Silence acts as a sensory deprivation tank that accelerates this neurological rewiring. You emerge with a clear sense of direction. You are being tuned to receive and broadcast new frequencies of creative energy. The static that scrambled your internal radio signal is being filtered out by the technician, granting you the ability to transmit wisdom into the hearts of those seeking guidance. This requires clarity and zero interference from the dramas that previously consumed your attention. The channel is open. The adjustments to your spirit expand your capacity to channel unconditional love, which is the heavy lifting force that alters the rigid physical structures of our world. You cannot wield this power while harboring resentments or clinging to past emotional injuries, so silence provides the surgical theater where infected spiritual wounds are cleaned and closed. The healing is quiet and permanent. Synchronization requires you to abandon the frantic pacing of the modern world and adopt the majestic rhythm of nature. A mountain does not rush to grow, and a river does not force its way to the ocean. You are learning the power of steady progress that operates outside the boundaries of human deadlines. You arrive at your destination with energy rather than arriving depleted. The universe introduces subtle tests during this phase to ensure your new settings are locked. Small annoyances designed to trigger your volatile reactions will appear in your quiet environment, but remaining peaceful during these tests proves the calibration process was successful. You pass these exams by maintaining your center when everything around you attempts to create chaos. The stillness holds. Shedding outdated connections is a demonstration of respect for your own destiny. You cannot pull unaligned individuals up the mountain of your future without risking your safety, so releasing your grip allows them to find their path while freeing your hands to climb. Silence creates the necessary distance to make this separation peaceful. You let go with love and keep moving forward. Strengthening the unseen connection. A lack of human validation pushes you to seek a reliable source of internal confirmation, helping you stop looking outward for cheap applause and tune your ear to the whispers of guidance. This shift in focus strengthens your unseen connection and builds spiritual maturity. You learn to walk confidently toward your vision. You do this even when the physical evidence of success remains hidden from view. The whispers of guidance are usually drowned out by the roar of a distracted life, but silence acts as an amplifier for the intuition trying to direct your next major decision. You are learning the language of your soul and discovering how to translate its wisdom. This sensitivity to inner truth becomes your most valuable asset as you navigate the coming complexities. The voice is quiet but clear. Spiritual maturity means remaining loyal to a vision without requiring constant signs or physical proof. The quiet season tests your faith and refines your ability to hold a mental picture of your future, teaching you to stop demanding instant manifestations and appreciate the shifts happening beneath the surface. This internal belief system guarantees you will not abandon your path when challenges arise. The roots hold fast in the dark. Use the lack of human validation to deepen your direct communication with the source. You are free from the burden of managing a public image or catering to audience expectations, and this freedom allows you to speak honestly with the Creator about your fears and aspirations. This raw dialogue creates an unbreakable tether between your human heart and the divine mind. There is nothing left to hide. Learn to hear the whispers of guidance that are usually drowned out by a busy life. Intelligence rarely shouts its instructions over the noise of television or the scrolling of a phone, so you must create deliberate pockets of stillness to capture these transmissions of spiritual data. Writing down these quiet insights anchors them into the physical realm before they float away. They are fragments of the map. Develop a spiritual maturity that does not require constant external signs to remain faithful. An immature faith demands a burning bush every morning to believe the sun will rise, while a mature faith drinks coffee in the dark and waits for the arrival of the promised light. This emotional stability is the prerequisite for handling the resources the universe is preparing to deliver. You know the dawn is coming. Deepening the connection transforms your isolated room into a control center for your manifestation, where you are downloading operational blueprints required to build your new life structure. This direct connection eliminates the need to constantly guess your next move or seek advice from unaligned experts. You move with precision because your instructions come from a higher source. The signal is finally uncorrupted. The lack of human applause forces you to locate the source of joy residing within your chest, making you realize external validation is a sugar rush that leaves you feeling hollow and exhausted. The internal validation you discover in silence is a feast that satisfies your soul hunger. You step back into the world full and immune to the manipulative tactics of the crowd. You carry your own sustenance. Hearing the whispers requires you to silence the panic demands of your frightened ego. Your ego screams about scarcity and calculates the probability of your public failure, but the divine whisper speaks of abundance and reminds you of your worthiness to receive it. You must choose which voice receives the microphone of your conscious attention. The volume control is entirely in your hands. Remaining faithful to the vision without physical proof requires a redefinition of reality. You begin to understand that the energetic blueprint is more real than the temporary circumstances surrounding you, and the physical world is a slow mirror trying to reflect the rapid changes happening in your spirit. You trust the blueprint and wait for the heavy mirror to catch up. The reflection will match the design eventually. Intimacy with the source provides armor against the criticisms you will face in the future. You cannot be destroyed by the words of strangers when you know what the Creator whispers to you, and this internal security allows you to take creative risks without the fear of suffering a public failure. Silence builds the courageous heart required to stand alone on a crowded stage. You are fortified from within. The unseen connection becomes a compass that guides you through the confusing earthly valleys. You never lose your way because the needle points back to the truth of your origin, creating an internal navigation system that replaces the faulty maps handed to you by a society lost in illusions. You walk the uncharted territory of your destiny with the calm swagger of a seasoned explorer. The path reveals itself step by step. The transition into manifestation. Transitioning into the manifestation phase requires you to observe the subtle environmental shifts happening around you as the season of preparation draws to a close and new doors gently unlock in the distance. You must stay spiritually alert to recognize the moment the silence breaks into action. Preparing your mind for this influx ensures you step forward with calm authority rather than reactive panic. The waiting period is lifting. Your private struggles have produced the endurance for a public and lasting breakthrough, and the work you completed in the shadows serves as armor protecting your elevated position. You step into this next chapter carrying the quiet confidence of someone who mastered their inner landscape. Silence was never a punishment, but a gift of preparation, ensuring your victory. You are ready to carry the weight. Prepare for the moment the silence ends by ensuring you are equipped to handle the opportunity. You must physically organize your daily life to accommodate the wave of responsibilities rushing toward your shore, because clutter and confusion in your physical space will block the delivery of the blessings you manifested. Clearing your desk and streamlining your routine signals to the universe that your warehouse is ready. Make room for the arrival. Recognize the shifts in your environment that signal the season of preparation is drawing to a close. Random synchronous events begin to multiply, and conversations with strangers provide the missing pieces to your puzzle. The heavy atmosphere lifts, and you feel a physical urge to begin executing your crafted plans. Honor these signals and release the parking brake on your ambitions. The road is clear. Step into your next chapter with the confidence that your private struggle produced a lasting breakthrough. You are ready to handle the pressure of the spotlight because you survived the gravity of the dark, and the world needs the wisdom you harvested during your months of isolated preparation. You open your mouth, and the frequency pours out to heal the broken landscapes of the human condition. The medicine is ready. The transition from silence to manifestation often feels like being shot out of a cannon, and the velocity can be disorienting if you fail to rely on the spiritual grounding practices you mastered. You must maintain your routine of quiet morning connection even when your calendar explodes with worldly demands. This discipline acts as the anchor keeping your expanding life from floating into chaos. Routine is your tether to reality. Ensuring you are equipped means eliminating lingering habits of extreme procrastination or self-doubt. You do not have the luxury of second-guessing your decisions when the train of destiny leaves the station, as the calibration process designed you to make accurate choices based on your tuned intuition. Trust the internal machinery you spent the silent season building and fine-tuning. The engine is primed and running. The sudden influx of opportunity will test your established boundaries regarding your personal energy and time, as people will want a piece of your elevated vibration and demand access to your acquired wisdom. You must protect your vital reserves and decline invitations that do not align with your primary mission. Saying no is the spiritual boundary that protects the structure you built in the dark. Protect the gates of your attention. Recognizing subtle shifts requires a quiet mind free from the influence of endless media consumption, because you cannot read the energetic weather patterns of your life while staring at the manufactured storms of society. Keep your eyes focused strictly on your own horizon and watch for the sunrise of your manifestation. The long night is ending. The morning of your victory is breaking across the sky. Your private struggle has produced a potent medicine capable of curing the sickness of modern despair. The things that almost broke you in the silence are the ingredients of your newly manifested power, and you present your healed scars to the world as proof that transformation is physically possible. Your existence becomes a lighthouse cutting through the fog of collective human anxiety. You stand as a testament to endurance. A lasting breakthrough requires a leader who has lost their frantic fear of public failure and silence burned away your vanity to leave behind a core of dedication to a higher truth. You no longer care what the critics shout from the cheap seats because you take your orders directly from the source. This fearlessness makes you a dangerous opponent to the forces attempting to control this realm. You are untouchable. Stepping into the next chapter is a graduation ceremony, honoring your obedience during the preparation season, where the universe places the crown of spiritual authority upon your head and hands you the keys. You walk confidently out of the shadows and directly into the light of your realized destiny. The waiting is over. The era of your manifestation has officially begun. The blueprint is now a living reality.